Hello, Chaz Marler from Pair of Dice Paradise here, and last time, while talking about the ancient Egyptian game Senet, whose original rules have long been lost to history, I mentioned that this game was sort of a Theseus's paradox. Since the game likely morphed and evolved over the centuries, well, it's unlikely that their rules are in fact indicative of the actual original game played in ancient Egypt, which makes Senet a sort of a Theseus's paradox of the board game world. Theseus's paradox is kind of a thought experiment that it goes like this. Let's say that you own a ship. Well, first off, congratulations on your purchase and welcome to the world of naval vessel maintenance. Now, over time, various planks of wood that make up your ship will wear out and, well, they'll need to be replaced. The same goes for the sails, the rigging, and all the other various parts of a ship that I don't know the name of. Like this thing. Whatever that thing is, yeah, that'll eventually have to be replaced too. One day, you will set sail, only to realize that your barge does not include a single one of its original components. Everything, down to the smallest rivet, is a replacement. And at that point, is that the same ship anymore? Or is it now an entirely new, different ship? And so it is with the ancient game of Senet, which dates back to 3000 BC or even earlier. But even with being present in human history for so long, a complete copy of its rules have just never been discovered. And even though documentation of the game's rules hasn't survived, there are wall paintings and papyrus scrolls and hieroglyphs that each provide just a fragment of insight into how the game was played. Taken all together, these artifacts have enabled Egyptologists to develop a pretty comprehensive idea of how the game is played. But is this amalgam of best guesses really the same Senet that was played in the shadow of the Sphinx? Or have enough of Senet's pieces, like our theoretical ship, been replaced that it's arguably no longer the original game, but now a similar, yet different, facsimile of it? Essentially, how much can a tabletop game vary before it becomes different enough that it could be classified as no longer being the original game anymore? And this isn't limited to just games that have been lost to history. How much can a modern board game be eroded, house-ruled, or expanded upon until it's no longer the same game? Poker, with its endless array of variants, could be an example of this. Alright, kid, the game is 7-card high-low Omaha Hold'em. Deuces are wild, as are jacks, suicide kings, and odd cards that start with the letter T. There's a $3 ante with no limit, but raises must be a minimum of twice the pot, and suits are going to be ranked spades and clubs, diamonds to hearts, and checking requires passing a double-blind raise to the dealer unless you dealt, in which case you gotta fold. Unless you're holding the high card in the pocket, then you call a split. Also, I'm hoping that you can teach me how poker works. How much can a tabletop game vary before it becomes different enough that it should be classified as a new, completely separate game from the original? Are we actually playing Senet? Or are we actually just playing a different game, like 7-card high-low Omaha Senet Hold'em? Well, let me know what you think by posting your comment, or a closely recreated facsimile of your comment, below. Alright, kid, the game is 7-card high-low Omaha Hold'em. Now, and checking requires passing a double-blind raise to the dealer unless you're dealt in... Nope. Oh, darn it.